I mean, if you steal your friend's ex-boyfriend,
it's not good.
What do you think is the next step?
I
feel like you ought to get married.
I mean, I would hope so. You got to make it worth it.
You got to make it
least.
worth that.
Do you think anything happened between West and Amanda last summer? Yes or no? Now, what do you think looking back on it?
Looking back, I would say yes. Ciara her intuition was telling her something, and I refused to believe it. Okay. And then certain things started to click.
So we will say, obviously, Ciara is our real friend in real life. So we have been talking to her, consoling her. We are behind her 100%.
Welcome back to Celebrity News Addict. Today, we're breaking down the most scandalous updates in the headline-breaking saga of Amanda and West versus everyone else in the entire world. While we were waiting for an apology tour, Amanda and West have officially launched a PDA offensive, and the Bravo world is in absolute flames. So, in this video, we're getting into all the most recent updates from last week, including the shocking reports that Ciara allegedly hired a private investigator to track Amanda, uncovering a naked photo that changed everything, Kyle's viral Move West diss track, and his cringy rebound kiss with a Real Housewife, plus Ciara, Paige, and Lindsay finally break their silence and address this scandal for the mindfuck that it really is. From Walk of Shame sightings to the defiant PDA at the Yankees game and the fallout from the upcoming reunion, we're bringing you every receipt you need to stay up to date with this hotbed of betrayal. So, let's get straight into it. So, if you haven't seen my previous video, where I shared a full timeline of Amanda and West's relationship, I'll quickly run through the key dates now so you're up to date. Or feel free to skip ahead to the timestamp on screen to get straight into the latest headlines if these dates are already engraved in your memory like they are in mine. Okay, so Amanda and Kyle's relationship has always been turbulent, but the real trouble started late last year when the pair decided to take some time apart and Amanda moved out of their shared home in November 2025, just before BravoCon. Though they were trying to keep this private while they worked through their problems, fans quickly caught on. So on January 19th, 2026, Kyle and Amanda released a joint statement to Instagram where they announced they were separating after 4 years of marriage and 10 years together. A couple of days later, on January 22nd, Kyle was interviewed by Adam Glynn, where he stated that he and Amanda were still on good terms. The following week, on February 3rd, Amanda appeared on Watch What Happens Live, where she confirmed she had moved out a few months before, but stated that she and Kyle spoke multiple times a week and there was no smoking gun that had ultimately caused their separation. Amanda also shockingly claimed that she believed she would be the first to date someone new. In a March 3rd interview with Marie Claire, Amanda revealed she was on cloud nine and starting a whole new phase of her life. Once again, she reiterated that things were amicable between her and Kyle and claimed she was manifesting a boyfriend who was younger than her and would take her on dates. Fast forward a couple of days to March 5th, and Amanda and West were spotted together in New York City, sparking rumors that they were in a secret relationship. Kyle jumped to defend Amanda against these claims on March 11th, during his appearance on Watch What Happens Live. And 2 weeks later, on March 24th, West also appeared on Watch What Happens Live, where he claimed there was no truth to these relationship rumors. But less than a week later, on March 30th, Amanda allegedly texted Ciara to let her know about the relationship, saying she never meant to hurt her and she had been trying to sort out her feelings before telling Ciara what was going on. We've got more fresh details on this later, so put a pin in this for now. Then, Doomsday. On March 31st, Amanda and West released a joint statement to Instagram to confirm they were in fact in a romantic relationship. This same day, Ciara unfollowed Amanda and West on Instagram, and the internet exploded with support for Ciara and Kyle. The following day, on April 1st, Adam Glynn interviewed Kyle to see how he was holding up after hearing the news. Kyle confessed he felt betrayed by West and Amanda and thought Amanda had been manipulated during a time when she was most vulnerable. Kyle continued to stay loyal to Amanda, admitting he was worried about her amid the public controversy and asking everyone to stop with the public hate. Then, more rumours started unfolding, which suggested the relationship had been going on for much longer than anyone realised. Here's all the evidence we'd gathered in the previous video, and there's much more to come in today's update. So, it started when Kyle revealed that after hearing the news, he'd started to question all of Amanda and West's actions last summer, saying he'd heard rumours things had started from as early as June 2025. Fans also jumped on this narrative, sharing clips and screenshots from moments in the season that look very suspicious now with the benefit of hindsight. One fan also sent a tip to Deuxmoi reporting spotting West and Amanda out for drinks together alone in September 2025. Meanwhile, Dave Portnoy, founder of Barstool Sports, claimed he'd heard rumours of Amanda and West's relationship at the Super Bowl on February 8th. Then, on February 22nd, West and Amanda were spotted having drinks together at the NYC bar Blind Tiger, where they were being touchy and flirty, and Amanda was allegedly wearing West's clothes. Lastly, West's neighbour claimed they'd seen Amanda and West making out at his apartment on February 28th. And, as fans were piecing together the timeline and the possible overlap between Amanda and Kyle, another overlap was made clear. This time with West and Ciara. A source close to Ciara confirmed that she and West were rekindling and had been together as recently as mid to late February, suggesting there was some crossover between West dating both Amanda and Ciara. Plus, it was revealed that West had also been in an exclusive relationship with Meija Moreno up until the end of March as well. Then, on April 3rd, Amanda was spotted leaving West's apartment to go and meet Kyle, I believe to exchange the dogs. Fans once again speculated that Amanda went on this outing wearing West's clothes, just to rub it in. That's where we left things in our last video. But since then, more news has been breaking every single day. As always, we'll take things in chronological order, starting with Amanda's return to Instagram and Kyle's revenge tour, before diving into Lindsay and Paige's reactions, even more rumours about how early the relationship started, Amanda and West's never-ending PDA tour of New York, and Ciara's first public interview about the scandal ahead of the reunion. So, the first update came from Deuxmoi, who revealed she had received an audio file and an email which detailed shocking news about how Ciara actually found out about Amanda and West. The email read, Ciara suspected something was going on between West and Amanda several weeks before the news of their connection dropped this week. Ciara checked Amanda's location one morning and saw she was at West's apartment during very early morning hours. She asked Amanda what was going on. Amanda didn't reply until 15 hours later with, "We're just friends." Ciara hired a private investigator who was unable to come up with anything on Amanda due to Amanda travelling. Ciara messages a blogger who claims to have a video of Amanda naked in West's apartment, but the blogger won't send Ciara the video for obvious reasons. Ciara asks the blogger to meet up with her so she can at least see the proof with her own eyes. And lo and behold, it's true. Apparently, Ciara, Paige, and Hannah will never be friends with Amanda again. In the comments of this post, Deuxmoi clarified that all of this information should be considered alleged until confirmed by anyone involved. And she claimed that she was 100% Team Ciara, stating, "Hiring a PI for something like this is not overboard if literally everyone is lying to your face and you wanted to know the truth. I'd do the exact same thing." The following week, both Amanda and West made their social media comebacks after a little break following their initial announcement on March 31st. West was the first to break his silence, posting a selfie with his friend and internet personality, Lucas Brody, on April 6th. In the photo, West tagged his friend and downtown Indianapolis, but didn't add any further context or details. But Lindsay Hubbard did, commenting, "Let's do a whiteboard about West Wilson and explain everything to you. I'll lead the charge, at Soho Brody." Fans took this to be a reunion warm-up for Lindsay, as comments ran wild with expectation that she'll be turning up the heat for West and asking the questions we would all love the answers to. Then, on April 10th, Amanda also broke her silence and made her Instagram comeback too, with a post to her stories which said, "Hi guys, I'll keep this short and sweet. I've obviously been MIA, but I wanted to come back on and say that I'm truly sorry to everyone I've disappointed and hurt, especially those I know personally who I've reached out to individually." She continued, "For the sake of my mental health, I'm going to try to start living life with some sense of normalcy. If you see me out or posting online, please know that this still weighs very heavily on me. I'm not ignoring what's happened or what's unfolded." Amanda concluded the post, "I'll be at the reunion and we'll be addressing any and all questions honestly and directly there." After returning to social media, West and Amanda continued to shamelessly flaunt their relationship. On the evening of Friday, April 10th, the same day as Amanda's public statement, the pair were spotted out for dinner together on their first official date after confirming their romance 2 weeks before. This had fans up in arms, commenting that Amanda only made her public apology post so that she was free to meet up with West later that evening. Another interesting detail about this meetup, the pair were photographed having drinks at the bar Blind Tiger, which is one of the places where they were initially spotted back in February when rumours were beginning to circulate, adding yet more weight to the claims that they were already dating back then. Anyway, after grabbing drinks together that evening, the couple headed to the restaurant Emmett's to join another couple for a double date, where a source told Page 6, quote, "They made out at the table and then Amanda hid under her sweater. So there was no signs that this relationship would be slowing down, or that they were even trying to keep it respectful or avoid rubbing it in Kyle or Ciara's faces." The following day, on Saturday, April 11th, West was spotted doing the walk of shame, leaving Amanda's apartment at around 1:30 p.m. with his shoes and overnight bag. So much for keeping it respectful. The next update came a couple of days later on Tuesday, April 14th, when Ciara's close friend Meija became the first of the Summer House cast to appear on Watch What Happens Live since Amanda and West released their official statement. And Meija kickstarted another tidal wave of speculation, hinting that the Summer House cast believed this relationship has been going on since last summer.
On a scale from 1 to 10, how shocked were you by Amanda and West's relationship? How shocked were you?
10.
10.
10.
Yes.
15.
Do you think anything happened between West and Amanda last summer? Yes or no? Now, what do you think looking back on it?
Looking back, I would say yes. Ciara had, her intuition was telling her something, and I refused to believe it.
Okay.
And then certain things started to click. But I'm telling you, I just refused for a while. I'm like, this is impossible. They would never do that.
What was your reaction to Amanda's return to social media, saying she understands the weight of the situation, but she wants to regain normalcy?
I thought it was interesting that her normalcy was just going out and hitting the bars with West.
Is there, look, we live in a society where we place blame. Do you place blame more on one or the other of them, or is it?
Well, yeah, I blame Amanda more. She's a woman. I think men, they don't always think straight.
Have you spoken?
Women, it's like, come on, you know better.
This same day, it became clear that Kyle was done being supportive to Amanda and West, and also had suspicions that the relationship had been going on for much longer than they were claiming. At a DJ gig in New York, Kyle was recorded playing a diss track called Move West, produced by Bravo content creator Giorgio Takunakis. I'll play you a small clip in a second, but you can find the whole song on YouTube, and honestly, go and dig it out because it's hilarious. And this wouldn't be the last time that Kyle would make his feelings known, as the following day, on April 15th, I assume after watching the most recent Summer House episode, Kyle started rage tweeting with 2 posts that made the rounds all over social media. The first was Kyle's raw reaction to watching the latest episode. He posted, "I've watched some hard to relive moments over the last 10 years. I've also seen things unfold as a viewer that I wasn't privy to as a cast member. Last night's episode, WTF. This once again suggested he believes the relationship began last summer while they were still filming season 10, and he and Amanda were still very much together." Kyle later responded to a thread on X that Andy Cohen had posted on March 31st. Andy's post had said, My team is getting ready for the Summer House reunion. Post your questions for the whole cast here and tell me where you're from. Kyle jumped on this on the 15th, writing, "Are there repercussions for lying on WWHL?" Kyle's revenge tour continued on the next day, April 16th, when he was spotted in NYC kissing ex-Real Housewife of Orange County, Meghan King. According to reports, the pair both attended the Paige 6 by 9 West party at Temple Bar, where they were reportedly flirting heavily throughout the night. But it wasn't until they left the event that the pair finally shared a kiss on the street. And honestly, this is the cringiest kiss I've ever seen. I've seen people commenting that this was all a publicity stunt for Kyle to get back at Amanda, but I'd love to know what you guys think. So clearly, Kyle is in his rebound era, but where do the rest of the Summer House cast stand? Well, we've already heard from Meija, but fans were dying to hear from Lindsay, Hubbard and Paige DeSorbo, and their takes didn't disappoint. Let's get into their reactions now, before diving into Ciara's most recent interview and how Amanda and West threw her respect straight back in her face. We'll start with Lindsay. So, we all knew that Lindsay would be team Ciara and Kyle after her initial sarcastic comment on West's return to Instagram. But the internet has been blowing up with evidence that Lindsay had suspected Amanda was capable of this kind of behaviour from years ago. One clip, circulating from season 7, filmed in 2022, showed Danielle, Lindsay's best friend and closest ally throughout the series, calling out Amanda for being the least trustworthy cast member, with Lindsay enthusiastically shouting, "Agreed."
Who do you trust the least?
Nobody!
The least?
Ooh, no, Jesus.
I thought about it. And I think in the curveball, I can't see what's coming since I'm going to go with Amanda. Oh. Wait, what?
That was my full play. That was an amazing one.
Wait, what? Can't see what's coming. You're a curveball. Please, I'm a curveball. You can't trust me?
Even more fans shared clips of Lindsay catching on to weird behaviour between Amanda and Craig, Paige's ex-boyfriend, suggesting this isn't the first time Amanda has displayed over-friendly behaviour towards her friends' romantic partners. Lindsay added credence to the theories that she hadn't trusted Amanda or West all along in an interview with TMZ on April 12th, where she stated, "Nothing surprises me about the situation," and hinted that everything will be addressed at the reunion.
Everyone is talking about Amanda, Ciara, and West. Where do you stand on this whole thing? Loyalty, people are talking about loyalty. You don't do that to a friend, and just all of it. Where do you stand?
Well, we're going to be addressing everything at the reunion that's coming up.
All right. Are you surprised at how much this scandal has blown up and how much it's taken over the internet?
Nothing surprises me.
Then, on April 18th, Lindsay made a comment on social media, once again confirming where she stands. The Not Mad About It podcast wrote a post saying, "Just a reminder that Mother Hubbard brought West into this world and she will indeed be taking him out at the reunion." And Lindsay replied, "I was waiting for someone to connect the dots." So, Lindsay is ready to take down West at the reunion. But what about Paige? As we all know, the bedbugs were a powerful on-screen trio, so fans were intrigued to see how Paige was going to react to the news, especially after how she came for West in last season's reunion. But, just like Lindsay, fans started speculating that Paige had perhaps clocked the start of a relationship between West and Amanda earlier than anyone else.
It's tough. You okay?
I didn't.
You're all done. Now you can be silly. You're all done. Now you can be silly.
Anyway, the first hint that Paige was ready to speak on it came on the same day as Amanda and West's public statement. In a comment under one of Hannah Berner's posts on March 31st, Paige wrote, "Being shocked on the internet is the theme today." Paige also took to the comment section of Ciara's Instagram to show her some love and support, commenting, "Beautiful" and "You're perfect," making it very clear whose side she was on. Then, on April 4th, Paige and Hannah addressed the scandal on their Giggly Squad podcast, sharing support for Ciara, but claiming that they won't be speaking on it until Ciara is ready to address things for herself.
So we will say, obviously, Ciara is our real friend in real life. So we have been talking to her, consoling her. We are behind her 100%. We would never capitalize or monetize off of our friend's heartbreak.
We love you, Ciara, as the one and only guest that's ever been on Giggly Squad who's a woman besides a couple cat psychics.
Ciara is a strong, intelligent, capable woman. She will speak her truth when it is her time. I would never speak for her.
Mm-hmm. So I guess we can say that that's the end of Paige and Amanda's friendship. And as much as we were all hoping to hear Paige destroy West once again, sadly, that's the only public statement she has made on the subject. Now it's time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Ciara finally conducted her first public interview since the news dropped, and she was ready to clear up everything that she had been hinting at in her subliminal Instagram posts over the last couple of days. Follow me on this quick detour because these posts are honestly a genius work of art. So, the first words we heard from Ciara on the subject were posted to Instagram on April 1st. The post included a compilation of clips of Ciara at the premiere of Your Friends and Neighbours Season 2. The post was captioned, "If you can't trust your friends and neighbours, who can you trust?" Then, on April 8th, Ciara posted a clip from the Euphoria premiere where she asked one of the cast members what to do if you steal your friend's ex-boyfriend. Ciara captioned this clip, asking for a friend.
I mean, if you steal your friend's ex-boyfriend,
It's not good.
what do you think is
It's
the
not
next
good.
step?
I
feel like you ought to get married.
I mean, I would hope so. You gotta make it worth it.
You gotta make
at
it worth
least.
that.
And her next subliminal came on April 11th, when Ciara shared these pap-style photos of herself in a sponsored Sephora post, with the caption, "Sephora actually rewards loyalty." Then, April 17th was the day we'd all been waiting for. Ciara's stunning cover shoot and interview with Glamour was published, and she didn't hold back. Let's get into it, and make sure you stick around to the end, because we'll also be diving into West and Amanda's latest bombshell PDA. So, in the opening lines of the interview, Ciara addressed the scandal playing out in her personal life, on screen, and on social media. She told the interviewer Hunter Harris, quote, "It's one thing to experience hurt behind closed doors. To experience it so publicly is like another layer. And then to have to see what you thought was your life still play out in season 10. It's a major mindfuck." She added, "Just know when something's weird in your gut, there's a reason. What's done in the dark always comes to light. And sometimes you really don't even have to do anything except sit back and let the universe handle it all." When asked why she has waited until this interview to speak on the situation, Ciara, always respectable, considered, and humble, stated, "I want to do it in my way, in a way that feels more intentional than just a podcast or a comment under a picture." Hunter then went on to ask Ciara about her relationship with West before the news broke. Ciara said, "I felt like we were actually starting to be friends again, and we had had a lot of conversations about, okay, what do I need from you? What do you need from me? What are some of the boundaries that we want to keep in place? What's going to make our friendship a lot easier?" One of those boundaries was no more sleeping with people from Bravo. Obviously, now that's out the window. At the end of the day, we were genuine friends, which I think was what made it so hurtful when everything kind of went south. Speaking about her relationship with Amanda, Ciara said she was close to Amanda and had initially been drawn to her because she felt like a very calm spirit. Ciara stated, "Amanda was someone that I always felt comfortable talking to. She always felt like a non-judgmental figure to go to." Clearly, that calm and comfortable friendship is out the window now, as Ciara stated she feels more betrayed by Amanda in this whole ordeal than West. She told Hunter, quote, "At the end of the day, a guy's a guy. Whether or not West and I are working on our relationship, you can't put anything past a man. But I just never would think that it would come from someone like Amanda, who has been what has felt like in my circle and in my corner for so long. I think that's the craziest part." She added, "I fought with your own husband to advocate for you. I've championed you. I've tried to be there in different ways for you and help you and get you to see your value in yourself. And so to be disregarded in such a disrespectful way is, honestly, I'm at a loss for words sometimes." Hunter then asked Ciara about her last conversation with Amanda and if she was given a heads up before the joint statement went public. Ciara stated that their last conversation was minimal, claiming, "That's something I'll talk about at the reunion." She also added that she did get a heads up about the public statement, but it was less than 24 hours before it went live, adding, "One notification was about 45 minutes before. I read it with the rest of the world." Ciara went on to explain how she reacted when she found out, revealing, "I was supposed to be meeting my friend at Pastis, and it's 12:45, and I'm like, I cannot be sitting at this lunch while I'm reading this effing statement. I'm like, I'll lose my effing mind. My manager was down the street and came and met up with me." She continued, "Honestly, I was on the phone to Paige for a while, and I was like, I don't even know what the F to do. I'm out in public." She added, "I was going to go home, and then honestly, the photo was snapped faster than I could even make it home. But I was like, how chic of it to be Hermes." Ciara was also asked if she feels like the cast is now taking sides. She stated, "I think some people are, clearly, yes. But at the same time, I feel like we have also so many new dynamics in the group, and I'm not expecting anyone to take sides." She added that she thinks everyone feels a little bamboozled as they've all watched this whole story unfold in person. Finally, touching on what's in store at the reunion and how she's feeling right now, Ciara stated, "I'm just trying to make it to the reunion at this point. Every day changes. It's like a weird flow of what you thought the past couple of years of your life looked like and what you thought relationships were versus what they actually are. It's tricky. One of my friends was like, you're going to shed a lot of friends in your 30s, but that's to gain more clarity. And damn, she was right." Ciara added that she thinks West and Amanda should be prepared to answer a lot of specific questions at the reunion. She explained, "I feel like there's been a lot of lying on both sides between Amanda and West. They've both lied publicly to my face, to everyone else's face. So it's like, why? So I think that there definitely needs to be specific questions answered." So that was Ciara's very level-headed and respectful take. But just hours after this interview was published, the disrespect just kept mounting as Amanda and West were once again spotted out in public. This time, the pair attended the New York Yankees game where they were spotted kissing and holding hands. After this outing, one fan wrote in to Deuxmoi, claiming that they spoke to Amanda at the game and asked her if she and West were official yet. Amanda allegedly stated, "It's only been a month and a half. We're still figuring things out," adding that she's just trying to live a normal life. So, the disrespect is officially at an all-time high. While Ciara is speaking out about loyalty and letting the universe handle the betrayal with her head held high, Amanda and West are figuring things out on the public stage and PDAing at a Yankees game. And with Amanda now claiming that they've only been official for a month and a half, despite the mountain of evidence and reports suggesting this goes all the way back to last summer, the stage is set for the most explosive summer house reunion we've ever seen. But, as always, I'd love to hear your thoughts on these latest updates. Do you buy Amanda's new timeline? Or do the receipts tell a darker story? And is Kyle's revenge tour helping his case? Or is that diss track just a reminder of why this marriage collapsed in the first place? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, please don't forget to like, hype, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more reality TV news and updates on this scandal as it happens. Thanks for watching.